What's up, guys, and welcome back to the GGuard challenge, where we have the third and deciding game between GGuard and 5eva. Game 1 and 2 were wins for GGuard and 5eva respectively, and pretty convincingly so. So we'll see if in Game 3 5eva can win their $500, or if GGuard will hold on to that for a future date. I'm Mikelrus, got Heflamoke here as well. It seems like these lanes are just what it comes down to, dude. Like, that last game's lanes were just a mess for GGuard.
Yep, GGuard, even though the draft looked decent, but they tried to once execute that like Chronosphere into what we said at the draft, like the combination of like Zeus and the Queen of Pain coming in, but it just didn't work out, mostly because there was a Magnus and just catching them, especially in such a choke point there around the Rosh pit. I think that was the last blow. Before that, I was still thinking, yeah, maybe getting Juggernaut killed here and there, that might bring them back into the game. But this last fight around the Rosh pit, that was just a deadly blow. From there on, there was just no way of returning. I think they also kind of panicked because I thought they could maybe sacrifice the mid-racks and then wait for the Chronosphere on the other racks and then for a comeback fight, anything like that. It never happened, and therefore GGuard dropping game number 2, and now of course they're risking $500 because whoever wins against GGuard gets $500 on their paw right there.
Right, and I think it was maybe even a little bit before that, when the game was really swinging heavily into GGuard's favor, when they tried to go for that kill on the Magnus in the mid lane with the Chronosphere, and it was just faces Void Lina, and then they ended up way overcommitting. Like, that really just set the whole pace for GGuard, where they were kind of tilting out, and it was pretty much the same thing in the MVP games, where they started making some errors. So we'll see if GGuard can compose themselves. We have a draft going on right now. We got Mag and Juggernaut, finally Juggernaut, going to be banned out. Of course, this will let Troll Warlord through the pool, and 5eva will be more than happy to grab that hero. And then the Vengeful Spirit was pretty good to them in the last game.
What did you think about the Winter Zeus? Because I thought there is a lot of potential in the Zeus, but like in direct fights and everything, I can't even remember when he cast a lightning strike, and it was really just the ultimate and a bit laning here and there, but he never got to his full potential because the fights were just too swift and too fast over for either side.
Yeah, it was that, and I think the fact that he was an off-lane Zeus that started out as an offensive tri-lane, so he wasn't even as powerful as he could have been. Like, if that was anywhere else, if he was lane somewhere else, or if they had actual kill potential on the safe lane heroes of 5eva, it could have been a lot better, but he just never really got a free time. He never actually had a chance to get those levels up, and he never actually did his damage. So yeah, it just didn't pay off there for GGuard, and they're probably going to give him something else along the lines of Axe that was pretty good in the game 1, and well, Axe is already picked, so that's pretty easy there. 5eva, they're going to ban out the Dazzle, ban out the Disruptor, get rid of some Storm Spirit counters, get rid of some Axe synergies there, and then grab up that Storm Spirit. So they have some good initiation online, and they have, again, a much different draft from Game 1 and Game 2.
Yep, definitely. And the Storm Spirit has been banned in both games, in both previous games. Now he's coming through, and I kind of love the Storm Spirit, especially we had all the time the Juggernaut on either side, and the Storm Spirit is one of those heroes alongside with the Queen of Pain. If they go for Orchid, it's pretty dangerous for a Juggernaut, because if you're not really fast on your buttons, then you get caught out, you get silenced, and then nuking down a Juggernaut who is not omni-slashing or not spinning is actually an easy task to do, unless, of course, we have a Juggernaut like last game that is farmed beyond believable, pretty much. Like, I mean, that was a big fat joke there if you looked at the net worth graph. Either way, so Storm Spirit, I definitely love it. I think he needs the Orchid that should definitely get some nice ganks here. Lina would be such a candidate.
Yeah, it's so easy to kill off someone like Alina if you're Storm Spirit. Hell, if you're Troll Warlord as well. So GGuard, there we go. Going for the more resistant type heroes. So far, looking to make a 1-for-1 repeat of Game 1 perhaps. Won't be the case, but they're well on their way to that. Viper, though he is very resistant to magical damage, I mean, there's not much magical damage on 5eva. They got Troll Warlord, Whirling Axes, minor damage coming up from Vengeance Storm Spirit. That's about it. So it's nice to have, but yeah, maybe this isn't necessarily the game for him. They need crowd control right now, and Lion or someone like Lion for GGuard is looking to be at the premium because they're up against Storm Spirit with only one stun on Lina, and that is far from reliable.
Yep, definitely. But we already saw one Viper today, and that was picked against a very, very magic-heavy draft, and it completely worked out. It absolutely worked out. That Viper on Ben was just too good, and now we see it again. It worked out once for them, so why not going twice? Then again, the magic load on the other side is not too heavy at the moment. I mean, what do we have? A Storm Spirit, Magic Missile, and that's pretty much it. But now with the Skywrath Mage, it's becoming actually better for the Viper, because yet another magic hero or magic heavy hero that is being blocked at least by the Viper, or at least potentially tanked up.
Skywrath Mage for 5 Eva. They're going to grab the Tried and True Venge Skywrath combo as GGuard grab the Shadow Demon. This is, not your most ordinary hero, but up against this burst combo of 5 Eva, up against very clear initiation targets, plus already working with Alina and an axe, this Shadow Demon is a pretty nice response. At the very least, this game is going to be, again, very different from the previous ones. GGuard's still looking for their hard carry hero, and well, I mean, it's probably not going to be this Viper. They probably don't want Lina as a core role right now, so they're looking for some late game, but it's going to have to be some pretty heavy late games, because Storm Spirit Troll Warlord's late game is pretty darn dangerous.
Yep, definitely, but I'm not quite sure what GGuard is going for as the last pick. I mean, as in, it has to be a core, it has to be really heavy, it has to go into late game, because if they don't go for something really heavy there, that Troll Warlord will pretty much wreck over time, and then 5 Ever have pretty much what they faced in game 1, where they were in a position where they just had no late game. So GGuard, they have to make a really heavy pick. Sniper is out, Jugger is out, so the Troll Warlord on one side, what does that leave for us?
For GGuard, I still kind of like the Medusa here. They have so many ways of getting fat bodies in front of her. Anti-Mage is also amazing for GGuard right now. Just up against the Storm Spirit, that's good enough. But up against the Skywrath Mage, who also depletes his mana pool very quickly, a Mana Void can absolutely destroy the 5 Eva side. And if worse comes to worse, you just slow siege with the Shadow Demon illusions, and you're good to go. For 5 Eva, though, they're going to grab their off lane. It's going to be that Phoenix. So a hero to, again, make use of the fact that GGuard are a little bit light on the crowd control. Only with the Lina LSA set up by a disruption, sure, but that's definitely not good enough to effectively kill off a Phoenix every single time.
Yep. I'm not quite sure if I'm a fan of this Phoenix. It's good for the fights and everything, good for the laning stage, because their Phoenix is always a pain in the butt, but I'm not quite sure. It's a meeple.
We did it, guys. Time to put a keeper in the chat to see if people take me seriously this time.
I did not see this coming, not in 10 years, to be honest, but, well, I guess GGuard have a plan. Ben as the meeple, so we have... That's... I'm confused. I'm really confused, to be honest.
It's okay. It's Meepo. You don't have to understand. You just have to appreciate.
Okay, I guess, yeah.
That's the case every game. Like, there's never a good game for Meepo, right? Like, this is up against a Phoenix, up against a Storm Spirit, up against a hell of a lot of bursts from 5 Eva. This is not really the type of lineup you want to be playing as a Meepo, but it's a Meepo, so, you know what? I'm going to roll with it. I'm completely fine with it. They have, like, again, good tools at keeping this Meepo alive. They have fat bodies to hide behind in the Axe and the Viper. They are going to be pretty effective to protect this Meepo in theory. But as always, there are no good lanes for Meepo. He does have a chance of just getting outright crushed before he even gets started.
Yep, definitely. But the Meepo against the Troll and like a lot of burst damage there, I'm not so sure if this really works out, to be honest, because the Meepo is always a gamble. It's something that can snowball, but it's also something that can go horribly wrong. So I love your appreciation of the hero, but to be honest, like, maybe I just don't trust the Meepo in GGuard's hands because I don't have previous experience with them picking Meepo. They can convince me right here. That's obviously possible, but well, now that the Meepo is out, I have to give my vote on 5 Eva. I think they're closer to the $500 than they were before the Meepo pick.
Yeah, I definitely gotta agree with you. As much as I love the hero, it's just so inconsistent. There are players like we or like No Tail who would grab the Meepo and you're like, oh, well, they win. Meepo is too broken on that particular player. I don't know what caliber of player Ben is. I mean, for GGuard, I haven't really seen them outside of the GGuard challenge, so the pool of heroes that's been selected is rather slim, but it seems like this is the hero that is going to decide the $500. Like, it's very uncommon to see Meepo be a non-factor in games. He's either sitting right in the middle, or he's just not going to do anything because he's always dying. So, yeah, this is going to be an interesting game, to say the least. 5 Eva, definitely, I would say, outright favorite in their draft, but you can never underestimate the explosiveness of a Meepo.
Yep, but for now we just have a tiny break. But let's see. The chat now, with 2-minute delay, actually reacted to the Meepo pick, which is now coming. The reaction is coming out. Keepo,
Love
Keepo,
it.
Keepo.
I
Oh,
love
it's
it.
amazing to see.
I
But I
actually
mean,
wonder
they're
if
just as
anyone,
excited as we are, so it's
I wonder
pretty
if anyone
good.
believes me.
Yeah,
They
now
probably
finally
didn't.
people will believe you.
So I did it for game 1 and 2. Also, I was like, oh my god, a Meepo, Kipo. But there wasn't, obviously. So yeah, like the boy who called Kipo. But here we go, guys. They're going to load out in their lanes right now. I guess I'll take the Radiant again. For 5 Eva, they're looking to grab $500 with this draft. They're going to put Chaos on the top lane as the Troll Warlord with Pelossa and Skywrath, and Chibix's Vengeful following suit. Miracle's going to be playing the mid lane, Storm Spirit, and then down towards bottom, it's going to be Ysera on the Phoenix.
Yes, and on the other side here we have Winter in his offlane. He feels quite comfortable there as an Axe. We have to see how it turns out this game. Ben now playing the Meepo. He's on the spotlight for sure. Ling behind him with the Shadow Demon. Lina, the one who just connected, is now played by 10. And last but not least is Yamate on the Viper. We have to see how he builds the Viper. Super tankiness and then just relying on your Nether to do the work, or maybe mixing some damage there if the Meepo does not what they want to do, pretty much. The same goes for the Troll. I mean, late game, all eyes on Meepo versus Troll. We also have to see what the Storm Spirit does, to be honest, how well he is farmed. Let's see how this turns out. I think it's a 50-50 with a tiny favored on 5 Eva. Small advantage, just because I don't trust the Meepo, but maybe I'm completely wrong and that Meepo snowballs to somewhere.
Yeah, you never know. He's going to most likely go towards the mid lane, as is most common for Meepos, as of course where you're going to find the stiffest competition, but hey, I guess you get some experience there. Maybe for GGuard, they're also going to put some supports heavily into their jungle to make sure that Ben has some stacks to work with. Simple 1-2 poof will almost kill off any single creep, any stack, but you might need a couple more. Either way, Meepo should be fine in that regard. Up towards top lane, Ling and Net are going to go. The Viper and the Axe don't really need that much babysitting, so you would expect a lot of this type of roaming from these two heroes. And though killing off Troll Warlord a little bit difficult, killing off Pelossa so easy, but they get a good angle as well. Pelossa walks right into it. There's the disruption. LSA to follow, will connect, and now the poison attacks from Yamate. Pelossan's doomed to fall right now. He's going to fight to his last breath, but he is going to die right now. No way you could withstand that as a soft Skywrath mage.
Yep, definitely. For the first blood, a smoke, a very early smoke that completely pays off. That's exactly what you need. Who actually got the last hit there? Okay, it was the Shadow Demon. Well, if Yamate got it, then definitely good news. Also, for now, Yamate is a nice tool to actually drive the lane away, like especially Mask here on that Troll. A low-level Troll is not too dangerous, and the Viper can definitely do a lot of harm there. We have to see what's coming out there, but as we know, Yamate, he might be able to zone out that Troll, and that of course will reduce the effectiveness of that Troll, which we expect to come, hopefully, because 5 Eva, they need that Troll farmed.
Yeah, this is even was even a level 1 Viper as well versus a level 1 Troll. Whirling Axes ranged is a very, very mediocre skill when you're level 1. They're going to charge forward. Chibix and Pelossa arriving to make this a full-on offensive tri-lane, and this is going to be potentially a little bit more difficult for the GGuard side, but over towards mid, Miracle is going to go deep for this Meepo. We'll drop one of them pretty low, and will be driven away by the Shadow Demon. It's going to be a very dangerous lane in the mid lane, but we already went over that. Over towards bottom, though, it's going to be a fairly even one, actually. Both these two heroes usually get zoned out pretty heavily, but going up against one another, it should be relatively even. Probably slight favor towards the Phoenix, but towards top, they get it to bubble once again onto Pelossa. There's an LSA. They have a level 2 Dragon Slave. That'll get the kill, and also cancel the clarity of Miracle. So Skywrath Mage once again in the wrong place at the wrong time. However, this time Chibix is wrapping around Miracle. Trading hits with Net. Magic Missile is there, plus Static Remnant damage is huge. Net will die. Ling just waiting for another disruption, but here comes Yamate. They don't even need the disruption. They have level 2 poison attack, and that's really broken for 2 minutes in. One more hit is all they need. They mess up around the corner, but no, they get a disruption from long range. Ben's gonna close in to look for the kill, but the illusions take it before the Meepo can, and it's a 2-for-1 overall in favor of GGuard.
Yep, that was a pretty nice engagement actually. GGuard coming out, thanks to the Vengeful Spirit kill, pretty much they come as a winner out of all this. There is also the fact that the Skyrath Mage, Poloson, this game not really happy. It's the second time he's getting caught out, and this was a warding mission, if I'm not mistaken. Also bottom, while all this was going on, Winter was very aggressive on Ysera, and Ysera, it's now official, he is out of regeneration, but of course he's relatively close to his Tranquil Boot, so that should solve the problem, but yeah, Winter still got 2 more tangos, and oh, mid, there's a go on Miracle, and he's level 5, so no Sippy Sappy, he's stunned, and there's the damage. GGuard having a nice start in this game, but there's a stun. I don't know really if that leads to anything. Ling, he doesn't have a disruption, so damage over time, yes, that should do the trick, but it doesn't change the fact Storm versus Shadow Demon, a trade you can do any day.
Yeah, you're going to want to trade that as often as possible if you're GGuard, and with the double poofs also being set up by that disruption combination, then there's really no way that any hero can withstand that. Maybe Storm Spirit gets out once he's level 6, but even then, if an LSA is timed properly, the poof damage is so extremely high, especially when Ben gets his 3rd Meepo clone, that they're just going to have enough burst to take down his targets, and that wasn't even Curse. I think Ling, he might have had the Soul Catcher, although the Soul Catcher will eventually come up, and that will make the poof damage hurt even more, not to mention the Lena's damage as well. It's a canon that these 2 supports are working with right now, and they're going to travel all the way from top through mid down to bottom now. They are probably spotted by this Observer Ward of the Radiant. No, actually they weren't. So Mask might still be in a little bit of trouble, though. If he gets close to Winter, he already knows that he's in trouble, so I don't think this Troll Warlord is going to die right now.
Not as long as he stays on the tower, and now I think they are in range to be seen. But it's pretty interesting that they go for these lane swapping, sending the Phoenix top, going for the Troll bottom. But at the moment, the outcome of it is not too overwhelming, because the Troll doesn't find farm here. But there is a gank rotation coming in. Chibix plus Poloson plus Troll, that's nice. And it comes at a good timing, because they want to creep skip here, which means they are in a vulnerable position right now. Poloson is scouting them out. There's the silence right now, but there's also disruption at the same time. So Winter trying to grab something, but he is so slow. 10 is the first one to fall, but it's a 1-1 trade. And now, thanks to this movement speed, they should make it out. Even sub and forward Miracle, slowing him another time, but no. Oh my goodness, it's just not enough. But where does he get that mana? It's a oh my god. Regeneration rune. I was wondering, where does he get that mana? 4th and 4th and 4th. It was a regeneration rune. Jesus.
Every single time he zip forward, I'm like, okay, he's out of mana now. The chase is over. GGuard get out alive. But no, he just keeps on going. And now he's going to go towards mid lane, where Ben is already dropping pretty low. Has a net to use, but it's not going to be in time. Storm Spirit, still with maxed out mana, is going to get a double kill. 1 in bot, 1 in mid. Over towards that bottom lane. Ling's going to get into another fight, but he's this time without any support. Here comes the Phoenix to Sarah, and Ling's body blocked out. He's going to die. Winter arriving way too late. Suddenly 6-5 in favor of 5 Eva. And, well, Ysera is going to get chased down a little bit. He does not have enough mana for a Supernova, but Winter, not willing to risk the 2v1, is going to fall back. That was very close to being GGuard getting away with a miraculous escape that really shouldn't have happened. 3v5, you get a 1-for-1 trade and you escape. The 2-for-1 a little bit more expected there, but with the Calling Blade movement speed, I thought they actually had a chance of getting out, but just a little bit short of that. Still, while all this is happening, the Viper is farming up towards top, which is, I suppose, nice for GGuard, but if you are going to be skirmishing like this, you want the Viper to be right in the thick of things.
Yep, I mean, the bottom line of all this engagement, before that, GGuard was leading in kills and had about 1,500 lead in net worth and XP. This fight, like mid and bottom, which was not very good for GGuard, cost him like 1,000. Yamate is the only one who actually keeps those graphs up, the tiny advantage GGuard still has left, but all Winter, he's getting caught out farming in the enemy jungle. There is the magic missile. Now he's standing in fire, and that's what you should never do in any game. Fire is always bad. He's getting slowed even by the troll, and now it's all about the right clicks. Ysera, well, he has no funny fire left anymore to throw at him, but it was already enough.
Yeah, they had some slows residual there from the whirling axes, so they will clean up that kill on the axe, trying very desperately to clear out some camps. This bottom lane, though, troll versus axe and heads up fight is fine. You can't really compare that to troll plus 2 heroes, and that's pretty much what it has been for the entirety of this game. Ben also has been farming up in the background. Stacks have been made, I think, and cleared. Don't really think it was stacked up super high, but either way, he does have Travels as his first item. This is, an okay way to go if you're going to try to accelerate your farm into that Aghanim Scepter, but Ben really can't do that much except for aid in a random disruption gank, and so far those haven't really been happening as much as he really would like. In fact, it's 5 Eva to once again go on the aggressive with Chibix and Poloson. Level 3 on the Skyrath, level 4 on the Venge. They'll run into potentially this Meepo, And if they do, they might actually be in a little trouble. No, they're going to find Net instead, and they should be able to bring him down. Amplifying the magic damage, it's going to be super high. Ben comes in, but it's way too late. Lena's already dead.
Oh, look at top there. There's a Nova, and it's a nice stun, but in the end, it doesn't really help. Isera is just going forward. Ling, well, fires up and easy going. Double dot over time. Ben is trying to come in. Well, he gets Isera, and he's completely out of cooldown. What he needs is proof damage, but it's not enough. So Isera is just running away in Miracle. Well, this time without the haste rune, without the regeneration rune, but it might still be enough there. Ben is being slowed. There's the proof forward, but that brings him even closer to his death. Miracle gets out of this, and I don't know what's happening, but GGuard, they are losing fast ground here, too fast for my liking there.
And they're all in the retreat. Chibix is going to arrive with the haste room, but then just help everyone escort them out. Yamate did die in the midst of things. Going to run to Polosan, who instantly TPs out. Axe in the meantime gets the solo kill on the Troll Warlord. Got into a man fight there, and as I said before, Axe versus Troll, pretty good lane for the Axe. So I guess GGuard gets something, and that's kind of nice, but they just expended so much up on the top lane. They might run into Ysera right now. It looks like that will be a clean retreat from the Phoenix. He has a dive even if he does get put into the bubble. Ben way too far away. Ysera is going to dive away, be A-okay. The Storm Spirit gets away with absolute murder. 4-1-1, and Storm is not really being slowed down. GGuard applied some pressure in one gank to Miracle, but since then, he's been walking around killing absolutely everyone, and that doesn't look like it's going to stop, since he is probably going to pick up an Orchid soon or some sort of aggressive items that he could keep with this pressure up.
Yep, I mean, they were focusing on shutting down that Troll, which is relatively successful, given that the Troll is on a 2.7k net worth, died to Winter now solo, but, well, they had to sacrifice so much for just disabling that Troll, because instead Miracle on his Storm Spirit is now rocking the show, and he might be able then to buy the time to play the catch-up game on the Troll Warlord. So overall, 5-ever, they really stand solid on their ground. Also, if you look at the graphs, the whole thing was 2 minutes, and it's a 3k swing completely in the other side. So GGuard losing ground more and more, but it's still fairly even, the game, if you look at all the numbers. 10 minutes in, everything can happen, and maybe even this smoke gank we have right now might lead to something, equalize it, or maybe bring it even in GGuard's favor. But there is a pause.
Yamate does have Kuro's skin maxed out at this point, so versus the Phoenix and versus the Scarith Mage, going to be very resistant there, not to mention the mech to defend up against all that physical damage. Mech a huge pickup for Yamate in this game. GGuard are getting into so many scrappy fights, and if you're going to be fighting with a Meepo, then being able to try to bait the enemies in with the Meepos that are dropping pretty low, then meching them up and turning things around, definitely a threat that 5-Eva cannot underestimate. This smoke is probably going to catch someone down towards bottom lane, I want to say. Winter doesn't have a Blink Dagger, so he can't easily help out here, but there's just so much kill power within these three heroes that if they run into anyone, hell, even the Storm Spirit, he's not exactly going to be in for a great time. Although, he's really the only person who has a chance of surviving if he gets caught.
Yeah, if you look at bottom, Polosan is the target you can get the easiest, because Viper is there. Like, as soon as Viper tagged on you, maybe, of course, either with the ultimate or the poison attack, then you're pretty much dead as Polosan. The target you want, however, is the Troll Warlord, but of course he's pretty close to the tier 1 tower. Winter has no Blink Dagger yet, so there's not the initiation. He's going for the Vanguard first, or maybe he's skipping the Vid booster and goes into the Blink Dagger, but he could really need that Blink Dagger right now. That is something where GGuard can actually make a difference. Jumping on a Storm, jumping on a Troll, it should result in easy kills, especially if you have proof damage, if you have the Viper doing like its work, and the Lina is also pretty close to level 6. It's actually too bad that this smoking is now without a level 6 Lina. Like, she should have, I don't know, stayed somewhere for half a minute longer, get that level 6, and make sure that this gank is potentially not just 1, maybe 2 kills even.
And the Meepo could also use his Blink Dagger down the line. He does have travels, so if a massive fight on the bottom lane does break out, he will be able to get there pretty quickly. But not having that Laguna Blade, as you said, that's a big asset that they could have waited a little bit longer for. Ideally for 5-Eva, they get away with it anyway, and this kill that they're looking for is going to be the one that gives Lina that level 6, so should a fight break out, they're going to be able to fight anyway. But for 5-Eva, their TP status, their Troll Warlord doesn't have one, but he's going to be aggressive pawn. Scarith Mage doesn't need that one either. Everyone else who needs to come in has a TP scroll, so this looks like it might result into a larger fight, in which case the mech on Yamate is going to be even more important. And Ben, he really doesn't want to come in since he really wants to get his Aghanim Scepter, but he might have to.
Yeah, I mean that Meepo at this point, sure, you got BOTs, but nothing else. It's the problem is that he will not survive those fights. It will come down to one poof, some nets, and then he's pretty much dead. But that's not what you want at the moment. At least Yamate had some nice free time to farm, so now he gets into the action, especially with the mechanism. And that might maybe buys the time for the Meepo to come and get the snowball rolling. They need that. And yes, they're not going through the jungle. They are going directly through, and they want this troll for sure.
They might have to settle for Palossand, however. The smoke does dispel, so Yamate no longer in that cover. Ling and Net still are, though. It seems like 5EVA know that something's up. They're going to hide behind their tier 1, see Yamate incoming. And if they can't get the kill, then taking this tower is just as good, maybe even better. This lets Winter potentially wrap around. This also lets Ben have a free time down towards bottom lane, where 5EVA have their heroes tied up trying to defend this bottom lane. So this is not exactly what GGuard we're looking for, but if they take this tower, still pretty good, and they're still farming on the mid lane on this Meepo.
Yep, I mean, sure, the Meepo is farming, but like the whole rotation was just a big waste of time. Plus, everybody else of 5EVA is completely ready to rotate in case they actually make a go on that bottom lane. So right now, the split push is going on. Phoenix just hitting that tier 1 tower, while GGuard is still trying to do something bottom lane. But within just the TP duration, they are all there, and 5EVA can just turn on this fight. And this is so dangerous at the moment. What GGuard does, it's poker at a high level.
And it's not going to work out for them yet. So it's up towards top. Miracle is going to snag that last hit. They see Mask. They see Chibix now with the Shadow Poison. And it's only the Venge with the TP. If I was Chibix, I would bail out right now, because this tower isn't going to last for much longer. Another Shadow Poison to Scout. 3 stacks now up on Mask. That's going to hurt quite a bit, even though it is only level 2 skill. Don't underestimate Shadow Poison, guys. It does hurt like hell. It's going to do... Oh, that was only 100 damage. Never mind, doesn't do that much, but it's mostly with the curse and everything applied to it. They're going to scout out once again, see Ysera this time. So GGuard know exactly what they're getting into, but Ysera's going to jump forward with the Fire Spirits on everyone. Prepping Supernova's going to get it as well. They don't have an attack speed to kill it off. Winter's going to try, but Ling's being brought down in the meantime. Winter's going to jump in on the act. We'll kill him off. Yamate, stuck in the egg form, is going to die as well to the Mystic Flare. It's going to be a double for Miracle. Palossand draws one as well, and GGuard, they have to retreat with their Lina, who couldn't do anything in that last fight. They get absolutely smashed down towards bottom.
Yeah, I mean, this was... I don't know what GGuard was thinking there, but I mean, they sent the invitation to a big slaughter fest in bottom lane. They were seen multiple times. They gave themselves away by the Shadow Poison and whatnot. So 5EVA, they were like, okay guys, we got top tower, we are ready, we got our TPs. So whenever they make a move, we just come. In the end, they didn't make the move, and 5EVA was like, okay, sure, if they don't come, we come. And that was very successful. So
they're going to back off right now, as GGuard are going to re-arrive in force on this bottom lane. This time without the Supernova, 5EVA's team fight is going to be, for sure, a lot weaker. But GGuard still, they're not with their 5-man lineup either. This Meepo is still farming, has 2 points to his Aghanim Scepter, but so far has done pretty much nothing for this game. Maybe GGuard get this tower anyway, but look at 5EVA. They're going to go right back into their same positions and look for a defense once again. They do have a Fortify, and it will be Chaos on the front lines, looking for that deny to start things off. Curse, not going to be thrown successfully. Ling's going to get jumped, in fact, dropped very low. Fire Spirits will kill him off. Tower is going to be destroyed by Viper, but at what cost? Because they're going to chase forward, swap back from Chibix. Yamate's in a lot of trouble. Blink forward from Winter. Going to catch 2 in the call, but the Solar Beam is going to do pretty much negate all that damage. Ben is going to finally arrive. Does a lot of damage to Ysera. Is going to get 1 kill for Winter. Now looking for more. Miracle is going to drop pretty low, but he drops the Meepo first. Now he's going to chase forward for a little bit more. Still doing the damage to the axes. Double kill for Miracle. It's going to be a triple unless Net pulls a Miracle right now. Dragon Slave turnaround not going to be enough. Miracle draws a triple, and the Shadow Demon, he TP'd out before. It's much better for GGuard because they finally do arrive with their Meepo, but really all that served was to fill up this Bloodstone newly picked up on the Storm. Now up to 12 charges.
12 charges. Miracle. I love that you said like the Lina has to pull a Miracle, but it was rather Miracle pulling the Lina. Either way, he's going to be happy with this outcome. And his entire team died around him. Actually, not everybody, because Mask, I don't know if you saw it, but he vanished into the trees and nobody of GGuard followed him up, even though I think Winter had the means with the speed boost of dunking someone. He could have gone for the Troll Warlord and just kill him, dunk him. He was in range for a dunk, but it just didn't work out, so it was the rest versus Miracle, and Miracle just pulled it off easy going. Both cores survive. It's really, really bad news for GGuard because the fight started quite well, but it ended horribly.
If you look at the net worth, we see something very similar to the last game. Miracle very far ahead. The rest of the players in this game not really able to catch up. Granted, this time it's a lot better for GGuard since the farm Storm Spirit, though dangerous, has its answers, whereas for Juggernaut, he'll just roll through the entire team.
Oh,
Miracle's
God.
still on the hunt right now. He sees 2 targets. He's going to go straight for the softer one in the Shadow Demon. Bubble's going to keep him safe. He dodges the call from the Axe. He's just playing games right now with GGuard. He's going to dodge the LSA, and now he's off to the left side. He's home free. Oh, man. Miracle, stop showing off. You're making everyone else jealous. He's still sticking around in this area. He doesn't have any backup, however. He still can go for some picks since he has so much mana regeneration. He's not going to find anyone else, though. So he shows off, kills off the Shadow Demon. The rest of the team, in the meantime, killing off Roshan. Big space created by this Storm Spirit play, and it looks like Roshan should be cleared out without a hitch. Miracle is actually going to get into another fight, gets called. LSA might pay for his greed. However, all the magic damage in the world is not killing him off. He's going to ball ending straight into the Roche Pit, grab the Aegis, and then be ready to fight again. He is so
God.
tanky with that Bloodstone. They just have enough damage. Now Yamate is going to walk right into a Magic Missile. Fire Spirits are there, plus the Mystic Flare. He's so tanky with the mech, but not tanky enough. He's going to die, giving a beyond godlike streak to Miracle. And everyone else on GGuard, they have to fall back. This Storm Spirit is balling out of control, man.
To be honest, the last 2 minutes should be put on YouTube as a highlight. That was just amazing. First, he dodges every single thing that flies directly against him and kills the Shadow Demon. He comes back, is behind the team, scouts everything out, makes sure his team doesn't get interrupted doing Roshan. Then he baits out all the ultimates, like Guna played, the Viper Strike, the Taunt, Axe is trying something. They're not gonna be successful, and he's just sipping away directly on top of the Aegis, coming back and getting Yamate just for shit and giggles. This was just a miracle by Miracle. But it was really good. And with this, oh my god, Winter actually making the town, but he needs a lot of spins here to make this happen. It's not happening. Not a single one is coming there. In the meantime, Phoenix, however, they get the Meepo killed together with Poloson. This is really bad news. Miracle is just playing at the moment with them. Winter again, not getting Miracle here. He's just too fast on his buttons.
Dodged another couple of calls and is just dancing around GGuard right now. I have no idea what happened to Ben in the meantime, but yeah, he was brought down. Mystic Flare, I assume, was involved there, but man, I just can't stop watching the Storm Spirit. If I do, I know I'm going to miss even more kills. He's not working with the most damage output right now. It's what happens when you go for a Bloodstone BKB and no Orchid involved in your build. So Miracle, though he is very farmed, is a very high level. Might run the risk of falling off, but I mean, after this BKB is completed, even if he does get clipped by those skills, he's not going to take any damage because of it. The damage would ideally come from Ben, but he probably just can't get close enough to effectively deal damage to the Storm Spirit. So Storm grabs the BKB, now should look for some sort of damage item. Hell, even a Maelstrom at this point when you're this far ahead can do wonders. But in the meantime, for GGuard to smoke in, blink forward, blind, call, gonna miss. And Mask is home free. Troll Warlord also making use on all the space that Storm Spirit is providing, which, by the way, is even more. They go for Yamate as a kill. They'll bring him down with the help of Magic Missile. Ysera's going to fly by just to get a scout on what's going on, but Miracle's going to set yet another one up for his team, up to 15 Bloodstone charges. This is a broken amount of regen for this stage in the game.
Yeah. This regeneration room, we saw it already once in action. They're gonna get this tier 1 tower easily. The Meepo is still trying to do some farm, but look at this. Miracle's just coming in, baiting out again everything. Call, stun, and now he's here. Even if you kill him, he's coming back. Full mana, full HP, so Lina's going down. Miracle just has the easiest game of his life at this point. He's just tasting every single drop of GGuard's blood, and, well, Lina down, Viper still down. That's an easy tier 2 tower. I just, right now, in this equation, I have no idea what's the solution, what's the variable GGuard has to bring into these fights or on this map to make a difference. Meepo is definitely not the one we are looking for.
Yeah, Meepo at this stage, when you're so far behind, is really not a great comeback hero. He can do some pretty amazing things if you have, you know, amazing micro, but Storm Spirit is going to allow that micro, or going to negate pretty much all of that micro, since with so much mana regeneration, he will give chase to whoever you're trying to pull out of those fights. So Ben, he does have his Aghanim Scepter up. That's all well and good. He's level 14. Not too bad considering the game state for GGuard and their 10k disadvantage in both experience and net worth. But they really need to kill Miracle. But Miracle's going to go ahead and kill them. Dodges the call. Now onto net. There's going to be a Supernova in the background, which will kill off the Lina in the end. They're going to chase for Winter as well. Magic Missile is there. And Miracle is going to get that kill in the end. Swap back onto Link. Solar Beam through just to keep Miracle alive as he goes for a double. He'll take down 3. And he barely lost any HP. Didn't even need a BKB there because, well, he has an Aegis. You want to use that one first. But that's a very easy 3 kill for 5eva. Still not with Pulse on. Still not with Mask.
Wants to die.
Just the Storm Spirit show.
Look at this. He wants to die. He just wants to die. No, actually now he got the Acro off, but he was just going for that tower. But, I mean, he doesn't have too overwhelming right clicks, so that will take quite some time. Now he's bottling up, so after all, not trying to get that Aegis away, but wow, this is bad news. But Meepo being caught out here in the bottom lane. Again, the same gank combination. It's the Vengeful Spirit plus the Skyrath Mage. Easy going. The Meepo can't really do anything. And at the same time, Trollwaller just getting that top tower. 28 and 9. Freefall on them. Look at the crafts. 14k in experience and 12k in net worth. Of course, 13k alone is pulled by Miracle there. And the Troll, oh, never mind that. In the mid, he finally loses his Aegis.
He's going to revive into a call. This could potentially be bad for Miracle, but even if he dies right now, he's going to be back up instantly. He will get dunked. Instantly, he's alive. It's as if he never died. So, Beyond Godlike Streak, though broken by the axe, is not going to stop Miracle's rampage right now. And the amount of space that Miracle has bought for his team, like, that's really what's more important than himself getting all these kills. Because Sanjin Yasha has been completed on the Troll Warlord. Phoenix has gotten his Midas, has been working with that freely. Skyrath Mage is a freaking Rod of Atos with another staff, and there's a Blink Dagger on the Venge. They're going to jump all the way to the high ground up towards top, and Ben is going to get absolutely demolished by this storm. Starting to refill that Bloodstone after his death. This game is looking so bad for GGuard. They need different heroes right now. Is it too late to repick?
Yeah, it's definitely too late to repick. 21 minutes into the game, it's a bit too late. Meepo is just not working out as we pretty much predicted. He had a good chance, but it just didn't work. Shutting down the Troll, letting Miracle go on the Storm Spirit. Maybe they should have done it the other way around. A good thing is, of course, they got the 833 goal of the Godlike Streak, but I'm not really sure if that on X is gonna make too much of a difference here. Well, Yamate trying to do something. They still have to break the high ground, and that's of course not an easy thing to do. But let's see. I think they're gonna go here on Yamate. No, going in there. Wants to go on Ling. No, and now he decides to go for 10. But well, for now he's still alive. There are the stuns, but stuns. Everything goes into a BKB. Completely not affected by it. Miracle still on the way, but Ben trying to come in, but Meepo, no, you're just too slow for it. Too swift. Miracle on his Storm Spirit. So now they're focusing on the Rex, but they have to retreat. Yamate, well, he's pretty low himself, and there's the swap directly in. Everybody's just focusing him down. That's at least one Rex, maybe even more.
Yeah, it looks like a little bit more. In fact, the game should be called soon, I think. Like, 5eva, they just dove tier 4s. 20 minutes in the game, got kills, maybe not the most kills, but got kills without losing pretty much any health. Like, that should not be happening at this stage. And Ben, if he gets a little bit too close, I'm pretty sure Miracle will have no issue jumping in and assassinating another Meepo again. They're going to clean up mid lane. They're going to go towards top lane, clean that one up as well. And GGuard, without their axe, can't initiate and therefore cannot fight. We'll have to concede 2 sets of Raxes. Usually 1 Rax 20 minutes in is going to be a death sentence, but 2 is just so difficult to come back from. The items from 5eva are going to be huge. Blink forward. Winter's going to catch Peloson on the retreat, but suddenly 4 heroes are here. Winter is going to get some backup here from Ben. Big poofs in, dropping Chibix fairly low, but it's a Vengeful Spirit. Who cares if she dies? Disruption on the Winter is going to keep him alive. Solar Beam on Chibix, not going to do the job for him, as the Sarah is going to get netted to the floor. Ben will claim that kill. Miracle trying to do his best to kill off this Meepo, then probably towards net, but he's slowed down so slow, running low on mana as well. He will kill both of those targets off. Now he's on the run, has a sheep stick active, so he can sheep and run away, or just ball anyway. He's going to sheep Ling TP out. Not enough damage on Yamate, and Miracle is going to make it back home safe and sound. 19 now Bloodstone charges, and that's GG called.
GG, well played. And to be honest, this, well, I have to say it, in Miracle we trust. It's just the fact. It's like, I know GGuard performed really well in their previous games, but today Miracle was just a tiny tad better. That's the bottom line. I mean, the first game we thought like, oh my god, GGuard has this serious. It was a really weak game by 5eva, but the last 2 games were wow, just wow. Net worth, I could talk ages about how good Miracle just played here, and of course the rest of the team as well. GGuard just didn't have the answer, and Meepo was, yeah, it was a strange pick. It was a long shot. It could have worked, but it just didn't.
Yeah, though it was kind of Miracle to steal the show, you cannot underestimate the impacts that the Phoenix had in that game. So much damage done with all of those supernovas, not to mention the mech also keeping everyone alive. Skyreth Mage, Vengeful Spirit, doing their jobs pretty much perfectly. Swap Initiation, because you don't need Swap to save your allies when your allies are just going to go ahead and kill everyone. Troll Warlord, he wasn't even needed in this game, honestly. Like, if 5 Eva did not have a Troll, they would still be in a pretty similar position. So 5 Eva, they claim $500 from GGuard. That's the second chunk of cash that GGuard are going to have to give away, first being to MVP. And, well, maybe that's a little bit more than they actually plan to lose, but either way, what's done is done, guys. We are done for right now for the GGuard challenge. It's been a pleasure casting this for you guys. If you enjoyed the game, be sure to hit that follow button. There are more GGuard challenge games to be played. I believe 3 more in the next 3 days. So that will be pretty exciting. I'm Mikelrus. I'm joined by Heflamoke. You can follow us both on Twitter at Mikelrus, at Heflamoke, and also follow HeflaTV at HeflaTV. But for right now, guys, we are done now. There can be more games in a little bit, but that's not going to happen for another like 2 hours, something like that. So yeah, that'll happen
2 hours.
later. Later, guys.